Hey everybody, this is Joe with Speedway Motors Tech Talk, and we all have some sort of a concept of body work. You start with getting the metalwork as straight as you can, and then there's some version of primer and filler between metalwork and paint. We're here at No Coast Custom and Rod Shop. We're working on our 68 C10 project, and Ben is an expert. He does this stuff all day long, and he's going to show us the right way to actually go from metalwork through filler and then start prepping for paint. So we're dealing with reproduction bedsides, a reproduction tailgate, and obviously these guys have already done some body work on the bedside. What did we do with this tailgate to basically get it to this point?
So we started with an aftermarket tailgate. It was in E-coat. We wanted to sand all that off with 80 grit and a DA to get a nice surface to put the epoxy on. So then we applied our epoxy, we let it sit for roughly a week, and now we're ready to start our body work. So how we start, we sand the epoxy with 220 grit, and we use the epoxy as like a guide coat, so it'll show us any low spots that are in the metal. After you've sanded it, and you can see these sanded parts, those are all good. The unsanded parts are low spots around the tailgate. So basically what we want to do is we want to mark those out so we can see where we need an initial spread. And then what we'll do is we'll take 220 just by hand and a red Scotch-Brite to prep those areas, sand them lightly and scuff them. You're not trying to go through to the bare metal. You're just trying to give the filler a tooth or something to bite onto. So you'll notice I prepped out further than where my low spots are. You always want to do that because you want to give yourself room to spread past. Because if you were to just try and fill the low spot, you're going to get what's called undercut, and you'll have a little ripple there. So now we're going to take some wax and grease remover, wipe the surface off, get all that dust off, make sure it's clean before we spray or spread the filler. So now we're going to mix some filler. A good rule of thumb is like a 3-inch by 3-inch circle with a stripe across it. But you're going to want to refer to the can or the technical data sheet that comes with the filler because every brand has their own specific mixing instructions. Now, if you put too little hardener, it will never harden up, and then you're going to have paint problems down the road. If you put too much hardener, it's going to dry on you really fast, and you're not going to be able to get it spread out. You can kind of see the ratio that we used, and now we're going to take our spreader and mix it up. You kind of want to grab the whole blob and spread it out on the board and keep mixing it like I am, kind of grabbing it and folding it in on itself. And what you're looking for is a uniform color, no blue or green stripes left in it. So you start by applying firm pressure and working it over the surface you're looking to spread. And don't worry about it not having enough there, because you're just working it into those scratches. Obviously, the better you can spread it, the easier it's going to sand. But don't worry if this is not how your spread works.
So it's been a few minutes. How do you know when this is ready to sand and start working with?
So basically, you just kind of go off of feel. We like to sand it while it's still pretty fresh. It's easier to sand, but it'll clog up your sandpaper. That's what you look for, is if it's clogging up your sandpaper or not. But kind of a guesstimate at 70 degrees, 3 to 5 minutes. Where I kind of spread over the gap here, it's nice to have a razor blade, a pocket knife, just something to cut the excess filler that you don't need there off. We'll just follow that gap down, and you can see it just strings off there real nice. So in this situation, we're going to start with 80 grit. It's not uncommon to start with 36 grit, depending on how much fill you have. Here we don't have very much, so we're just trying to smooth it all out and see if there's still any low spots that show up. You want to use a nice rigid block that's not too big. This is about the perfect size for the area that we spread. So you'll notice that I have the block at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm working it evenly across the tailgate. I'm also trying to sand at a 45-degree angle. Basically that keeps from getting really deep sand scratches that you have to come back and fill later. And I'm also working the inside out. You can see that it's still a little soft, and so it's starting to gum up the sandpaper a little bit, but not enough to where we have to stop. But this stage here is where it sands really easy, cuts your sanding time probably in half. Normally when we're doing this, I would be wearing a respirator, but since I'm also talking to the camera, I chose not to wear it. So you can kind of see there's still some lows here where the tailgate is kind of dipping off. It's not a big deal. We don't have any bare metal showing through here. We have a little bit showing there. Also here, there's a little bit of a low, but like I said, there's still plenty of filler out here. It's always a good idea to kind of use your hand as flat as possible, feel across it, see if you can feel any variations. Like I said, there's still plenty of filler here to sand, so we're gonna just keep going. So these spots here are still showing up low. Like I said, this here is all sanded and this is all unsanded, so that's showing us that that's low. This spot here is showing us that it might be high, but we're gonna go ahead and spread this one more time and see if this pops back up. If it doesn't, then it's just slightly higher than the surrounding area. But this is kind of what you're looking for, where you cut through to bare metal or epoxy. That's showing you a nice feather edge there. This area here, you can see where the filler kind of stops, and we still have an unsanded epoxy primer. So we're gonna go ahead and mark that's also low. We'll mark these so we don't lose our reference. We also have a small low spot here. So these areas that are unsanded, we need to go ahead and sand them. I just take a loose piece of 80 grit and kind of stuff and lightly in there. Basically, the filler will not stick to unsanded filler or unsanded primer. So we need to give it a tooth just like we did with the epoxy primer. All right, so we got this all sanded in 80 grit. We're not gonna take it any further because we're gonna use a high build primer, which will fill an 80 grit scratch. But this is what you're kind of looking for, where everything's feather edged out, nice. It just has a nice smooth transition into the epoxy. There's no high spots showing through, no bare metal or anything. There's no low spots showing anymore. You can see it kind of mimics our original markings with the pencil. So now we're ready to move on to our primer stage in this area, and then we'll go ahead and hit the rest of it and fill our major lows.
So some people might be wondering, why wouldn't we just do the tailgate, flat on the bench top or whatever? And that's where we need to start talking about the gaps and really kind of dialing it in beyond what maybe a normal body shop would do.
We're looking at our side-to-side fitment here, and the tailgate kind of sticks out from the bedside. So if you've ever wondered on a show car, looking at it, it just looks perfect down the side. This is how you achieve that. And what we'll do is we will spread across these two, and then we will sand them together. So when this tailgate is closed, it'll appear like it's completely flush with the bedside. It's the same process as before as far as prepping this out with the 220, the Scotch-Brite, using your wax and grease remover. We will also tape the inside edge here because we don't want a bunch of filler inside of there. Like we said before, it's better to spread the filler thin. So if you don't get this all in one pass, that's fine. If it takes a couple of passes, because we don't want this thing full of pinholes or air pockets. You'll notice we spread this into the gap. We went ahead and made a little stick with some tape wrapped around it that's set to the gap that we're looking for. So while it's still wet, we'll go ahead and run this in there and clean that gap out. And this will kind of set our gap size and also clean the gap out. We put tape in here to keep the excess filler that we squeezed through the gap from getting stuck to the inside of the tailgate. But we still would like to, while it's soft, get that out of there. And so we'll take our knife, clean that out, pull the tape. So our initial round of filler is done. It went pretty well. We're still slightly low in the corner here. So same as before, we'll mark that out where we want to put some filler. Also, since we just built up the edge, you have more fill here than you do here. So the tailgate's kind of doing a sweep motion right now. So what we'll do is we'll put a straight edge on there, and it'll give us an indication of where we need to fill to blend that out. So I can see there stops being a gap here. So I'll mark that out so we know that we need to spread that far to kind of taper that off so your eye won't see that. When you're sanding it just kind of lightly to see if it's ready to sand or not, when it starts to ball up like this, you know it's still just a little too soft. So we're pretty much done here. There's a little bit of cleanup left, but this is what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to get this to match up with the bedside here, get a nice flow here, and then we'll go ahead and do it with the rest of the tailgate and the other side. And then it is the same process across the whole truck, whether you're matching the doors to the cab, the fenders to the doors, same exact idea.
We'll repeat this across the tailgate. What comes after the fill work? What's the next step after that?
So any bare metal cut through spots, we're gonna wanna epoxy prime. Give that about a day or so. We'll scuff that, and then we'll do a high build. We use a polyester primer, but you'll want to do a high build primer, block sand that out, and then from there you can do a urethane primer, wet sand it, and a sealer, and then your base coat or your single stage, whatever paint you're using.
But this, as far as the sculpting goes, you do all of that with the filler.
Yep. You do all your major low spots with the filler. You don't want to try and use primer to fill dents and dings. So.
Well, we got lots more work to do across the rest of the truck. Any more questions, we'll go into more detail on the toolbox at speedwaymotors.com. Thanks to everybody for watching.